The final episode of Pachinko Season 1 is here, and the show has been incredible each week. I am sad that we have to wait a couple of months before we get Season 2. Now Episode 8 focuses on Sunja investigating why Isaak was arrested. In the present, Solomon takes care of his stepsister as she's getting more sick. Let's start with Episode 8 breakdown. So in the present, we see Sunja with Hana, who is sick as we see in her eyes. This episode was sad for the mother of Hana, and we can see that she's suffering from all of this. I love how Itsuko asks if she's in pain. Of course, a mother doesn't want their son or daughter, which is something that we can see here, as well as in the character of Sunja in the past, something that happens with the character of Noah. This scene is hurtful and sad, and the doctor are preparing Itsuko knowing that she's going to die, the character of Hana. This scene was so sad, and cutting to Solomon talking to his dad about what happened with the deal and what he stopped her from signing and why she stopped. Solomon explained why he was fired, and this is when Solomon's dad explained to go back to America, but as we know, he cannot. Solomon cannot be rehired, and the only person that he can work for is Yoshi-san, who I believe is a storyline for the next season. But his father declines, as we know Yoshi-san is not a good man, and he is a grandson of a corrupt businessman who is also accused of murder. That's something that happens in the book. Now Mosasu said his granddaughter once said the same thing to me, and I love just this conversation between Solomon and his dad. We can see the pain of Mosasu, and this is a heartfelt conversation from all the heartfelt conversations that we got in this episode. Solomon then talked with Hana, and she asked of him to take care of her mother when she's gone. And this scene was so sad, knowing what's gonna happen at the end of the episode. As we can see, Hana is accepting what's gonna happen in her life. She did not wanted that, but as she says, it's all the same. At the end, she wants Solomon to live his life. And this conversation again was so sad. I was crying during this. So raise your hand if you cried as well. Solomon talks to Yoshi-san and wants to talk about Pachinko. He explained about the opportunity and to work together. This conversation that Solomon take the decision to work with him as is something that is going to happen in the next season, but as we know, is going to bring him money and success. Before that, he says that he wants to do something, and this is when he goes to Hana. Now we have the final moments of Hana talking to her mother. Just another sad moment, but Hana accepted her fate and her destiny, but she wants to spend her last moments with her. Just a beautiful scene between a mother and a daughter. But that's Pachinko, the moments with those we love, in this case our family, as well as appreciate every moment that we have. Now we have a conversation between Mosasu and Sunja talking about how the things go in another life, in another direction, and how she would not allow to happen to Solomon what happened to Noah. So that's something that we'll have to wait to see in season 2. This hurted Sunja, but why? What happened with Noah? She says she won't allow that to happen again. And now moving into the end of the episode, in this case where Hana has accepted her fate, but this show takes into a whole different direction, as we can see here, as they all decide to say a proper goodbye to Hana. She's ready to say goodbye to life. But this scene is so beautiful in the last moments where she's taken away from the room, where she felt free, accepting the freedom of life. This part of the episode where they say goodbye to her, it was beautiful and sad, and I was crying all the time during this. This when Sunja go later that evening. Sunja gives a watch, the famous watch that we get. Explain what happened, how we got that watch in the last episode, and she said it saved her family. But how? Again, something that we will have to wait on. It's her hope that this bless Solomon. And then it comes to the blessing, I believe, where we see the lady that declined the offer. In that moment, she's scared for her life, and I believe this is the reason that she's gonna sell the building. Now, episode 8 opens in 1938 Osaka. We're introduced to a younger Noah. Something to notice is that Noah speaks Japanese and Korean. We still don't know where he is in the future, as we have not seen him. But we get to see how Isaak has become Noah's dad, even though he's not. We can see that Solomon's dad, Mosasu, is alive at this time, but he did not experience what we're going to see in this episode with the arrest of Isaak. This scene between Noah and Isaak almost looks close as the one between Hanzo and Noah later in the episode. At that, talking to their son, almost the same way it was filmed, but the message to Noah is different. I love this conversation they have about life and talking about new responsibilities. Now we're celebrating the first year of Mosasu, and they put him to select his fate. In this episode, he chooses from different things, We don't know what he chose, but we can understand that it was a coin. Something different is the song, they changed it, it looks more modern feel to it, and raise your hand if you sing it. Continuing with Sunja doing the apple, something we see in the present as well. Noah explained that he has been waiting for 1 hour as Isaak did not win to pick him up, and why he was not there. This created the overall structure of the episode. In the church, they are investigating on why Isaak is a traitor. As you watch the episode, you start thinking about what's happening with Isaak, and we get the answers as the episode progresses. Doing this, we can see how Sunja is worried as she gets the news that he's been arrested. Getting the news that he's in the local station. She goes there to see what's going on, and Sunja going to the station tells Noah to look for his uncle. She gets him. We can see how Sunja doing this was alone and scared about Isaak. This conversation of the uncle and his boss is something important in a moment. In the police station, Noah is translating to his mom, investigating what's happening with Isaak. Isaak is investigated by the higher police. We get why that is in a moment. During all of this, Sunja thinks he's innocent, but as we can see in the episode, he was working on illegal activities against the country. This is really sad at what happens with Isaak as well. Now outside, Sunja, innocent, can be shown as she thinks her husband is alright and innocent. But during the episode where we see the truth is revealed. Sunja speaks with another woman that reveals that she knows her husband, but how? Well, Isaak is a pastor, and she thinks he's not involved in politics, but as we can see, he is. This episode serves as an investigation of Sunja into the life of Isaak, the secret life that he had. They say that they're spies in the country, and they're gearing up for more war, this being World War II. Isaak was a source for hope for them, but Sunja is surprised about all of this. It's during the scene where we really explain what's going on with Isaak. Cutting to Isaac's brother, he gets fired because of the crime that is unpatriotic. If they know it as well, they can arrest the boss for having a criminal working for him, even though Isaac's brother is not. This is a political crime. Sunja is then explained about Isaak, criminal actions. During this is Noah who's translated all of this, which makes the scene more interesting and more engaging. Now it's revealed that Isaak is a communist, being workers from other countries, and it's revealed that they were working against the emperor. Sunja is mad. In that moment, the man is arrested, and Sunja is questioned about the events of her husband, whom she doesn't know what happened. It was a crime to speak negatively against the emperor, something that we can see that Isaak was doing. When the guy says he was an agitator, she says all of these good things about him. Outside, Noah is alone, and Sunja showing him strength goes to him, and they have to step a life without Isaak moving forward. Outside, Noah goes running to his dad, all hurt, and they cannot say goodbye, and this scene broke my heart. The whole episode broke my heart. Now running is so sad. In the past, the pain of Sunja, something that cuts later in the future as well, that the pain has always been a part of her life. Sunja with a new purpose, no husband, has to care for 2 children. He wakes up early to work for Noah and her family. She's doing kimchi as a way to sell, as a way to make money. The thing she learned from her mother was always food, something that we can see here. And food is something that we give generation to generation. We also see Isaac's brother sad about all of this, and Sunja decides to help. Now moving to the conversation of Noah and Hansu. This scene had me in tension. Hansu tells him about the earthquake that we saw in the previous episode. He explained that his father was taken as well. He gave his son a new lesson, to be better, to never look back, always forward. Sunja says goodbye to Musasu and goes to sell the kimchi. She starts to sell the kimchi, and this shows how she will always work hard for her family, something she said in episode 3. And this is how season 1 ends. The last part of the episode is the documentary of the woman who inspired the events of the show. It was nice to see the stories and the heart of the show. But what are your thoughts on Pachinko episode 8? What an incredible show. I cried a few times, and I cannot wait for season 2. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Christian from Beyond Premiere, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, one.